Hello friends, today in this video we shall discuss what is interstate supply and what is intrastate supply. As per IGST Act, IGST Act 7 describes IGST Act 7 prescribes defines what is interstate supply, and section 8 of IGST Act prescribes about intrastate supply. First, interstate supply. Interstate supply in case of goods, in case of service. First, interstate supply in case of goods. Supply of goods shall be treated as interstate supply of goods if the location of supplier and the place of supply are in two different states. If the location of supplier and place of supply are in two different states, or if the location of supplier and place of supply in two different union territories, or if the location of supplier in a state or location of place of supply in a union territory, or if the location of supplier in a union territory and place of supply in a state. So in that cases, the supply of goods will be treated as interstate supply of goods. Now let's see what the subsection 2 of section 7 states. Supply of goods imported into the territory of India shall be treated as supply of goods in the course of intrastate trade or commerce. So when goods are imported, then that supply of goods will be treated as interstate supply. Interstate supply of goods. Now let's see what the subsection 3 of section 7 states. It states about the supply of service. Supply of service will be treated as interstate supply of service when the location of supplier and and the place of supply when the location of supplier and the place of supply of the service are in two different states or in two different union territories, or where location of supplier is in a union territory and place of supply in a state, or where location of supplier in a state and place of supply in a union territory. In that case supply of service will be treated as interstate supply of service. Let's see what subsection 1 of section 7 states. Subsection what the subsection 4 of section 7 states. Subsection 4 states that supply of services imported into territory of India. That means service imported. So importation of service shall be treated as intra-state supply of service. Let's see what the subsection 5 of section 7 states. It states that supply of goods or service or both, supply of goods or service or both shall be treated as interstate supply when supplier is located in India but place of supply outside India, place of supply anywhere outside India. It also further states that supply of goods or service will be interstate supply if it is made by or made to sage developer or sage unit, sage developer or sage unit. So supply of service or goods made to sage developer or sage unit shall be treated as interstate supply of goods or services. Let's see what the clause C of subsection 5 of section 7 states. Subclause C states that supply of goods service in a taxable territory, in a taxable territory not being intrastate supply, which is not intrastate supply, which is not intrastate supply, supply of goods or service or both, which is not intrastate supply and not covered elsewhere in this section, not covered elsewhere in this section. So this supply will be treated as interstate supply. Now we are moving forward to section 8 of IGST Act. Let's see what the section states about the interstate supply. Interstate supply of goods which have been defined, which have been specified, which have been provided in section 8 of IGST Act. It states that subject to provision of section 10, supply of goods shall be treated as intrastate supply. Supply of goods shall be treated as intrastate supply. Intrastate supply where the location of supplier, where the location of supplier and place of supply are in the same state, are in the same state. Are in the same state. This supply of goods will be treated as intrastate supply of goods. Now let's see what the proviso of section 8 states. Proviso states that following supply of goods shall not be treated as intrastate supply of goods. Supply of goods to special economic zone developer or special economic zone unit, SEZ unit or SEZ developer. Supply of goods to SEZ developer or SEZ unit shall not be treated as intrastate supply. Goods imported into the territory of India shall not be treated as intrastate supply. Goods imported will not be treated as intrastate supply. Supply of goods to or by, supply made to or made by special economic zone developer or special economic zone unit, shall not be treated as intrastate supply, shall not be treated as intrastate supply. Supplies made to tourist, supply made to tourist shall not be treated as intrastate supply. Let's see what the subsection 2 of section 8 states. Subsection 2 states that subject to provision of section 12, supply of service supply of service shall be treated as intrastate supply of service. Supply of service shall be treated as intrastate supply of service where location of supplier and place of supply are in the same state, same union territory, same state or same union territory. In that case, that supply of service shall be treated as intrastate supply of service. Let's see what the proviso states. What about it? Proviso of subsection 2 of section 8 states that intrastate supply of services shall not include supply of service to or by special economic zone developer, special economic zone unit, SEZ unit and SEZ developer. So supply of service by SEZ unit or SEZ developer or supply made to SEZ unit or SEZ developer shall not be treated as intrastate supply of service. They always be treated as intrastate supply of service. So that's all about today's video. Thank you for watching.